Off day tomorrow at Tampa Bay. Home runs yesterday for Gunnar, Pete, and Christian Encarnacion Strand. They are all in the lineup today for Craig Albertaz. His Orioles 15th at 4.5 runs per game. Look at the little bird shadow next to
I like that.
Right there.
I like that a lot.
Shadow of the big bats over Zebby Matthews, making his 16th start for Minnesota.
Yeah, he didn't make the big club out of spring training, but now in his second stint with the Twins here at the big league level. Recalled on August the 7th, and that was his start against the Brewers, which was his last time out. 5 innings of work. He gave up 6 runs, only 3 of which were earned. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. 5-8 on the year with a 5.23 ERA. Not a huge strikeout guy. This is StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 2 and a 4-seam fastball combined, 42%. Slider, changeup, curveball, and cutter. It's all about the spin for Zebby Matthews. That slider, 198 opponent's batting average with above average whiff rate. And the curveball, opponent's only hitting 143 off of that pitch with an above average whiff rate as well.
Yesterday, you and I made our picks to click before the game. Off air, you picked Gunnar Henderson. I then said on air I was picking Pete Alonso. We both had awfully successful days. So let's just try our luck here. We did reveal these on your social media video, but we have the same pick to click today, which is a frightening proposition. And we're both going with Jackson Holliday, number 3 hitter, to have a big day.
Well, he's been really good on the road recently. Been wearing it out. Got 2 base hits in this series alone. So. And look, he's made some big adjustments. We talked about it. The month of July was really good. August has been solid, too, for young Jackson Holliday. So we're going to ride him like a rented mule today.
You know what? I think it's funny. Kevin, you and I both
Rob,
like...
don't you even
Kevin,
start
you and
to
I
tell
both
me.
like the Star Wars. Ben and I don't use shampoo. And today on the pregame show, I said Jackson Holliday.
Get out of here. I got to start watching the pregame show, I guess.
We got a lot in common.
So, wow. That means Jackson's going to go 0 for 4. No, poor guy. Gunnar Henderson took ball 1, 12:42 local, and he's ahead 2-0 here on Zebby Matthews, who misses with that hard changeup down. Another beautiful day in Minneapolis. Sun is shining. We've been clear skies for all 3 games in this series. 86 degrees our first pitch temperature, which is right in line. In fact, it's been 86 degrees every first pitch temperature in this series. So 3-0 for Henderson. Now 3 for 8 in the series with a walk, double, a homer, 2 RBIs, and he's swinging away. He's feeling good. 3.
Yes, he is, and why would he not be feeling good after the night he had last night? 3 for 5, 19th long ball, drove in a couple, and was really good on defense as well.
Henderson takes a 3-1 changeup up and out of the zone. A very confident at bat for Gunnar Henderson. He leads off today's game with a walk. That walk, by the way, has tied the Orioles' single-season record. They've walked in 112 straight games, tied for the most in a single season with the 1995 club. And it puts a base runner aboard for Pete Alonso.
Yeah, Pete Alonso's the guy that got the party started in the first inning last night with a 2-run home run. His 26th of the year.
Pete was 3 for 4. He also walked, so he reached base 4 times yesterday. Alonso comes into this game having played all 120 Orioles games. Today makes it 121 out of 121. 26 homers, 77 RBIs, 22 doubles, 829 OPS. All lead the team. And Pete takes a 2-seamer from Zebby Matthews low.
Zebby Matthews got a pretty good arm. Going to push it up to 97, 98 occasionally. 2 of that 4-seam fastball. Big guy, though. 6'5", 225. You wonder if Gunnar Henderson, how aggressive is he going to be today?
Alonso up the middle and through. There's a base hit. Henderson's thinking third all the way, and he's going to get there with an unnecessary hit first slide. The Orioles once again take the extra base on this road trip, and Alonso's sharp single has Matthews cornered right out of the chute.
Same recipe as last night. Top 2 guys in order got it done last night, and so far today in the first inning gets off to a really good start. Not hit hard, but hit in the perfect place for the Polar Bear. Look at Gunnar Henderson. He had one thing on his mind when that ball got through. I'm going to get to third base, and he easily does it. So first and third, and nobody out for the Orioles.
And here is young Jackson Holliday with a couple of hits and a walk in the series. Takes a changeup for a strike. I'll tell you why I like Jackson today. He has struggled against changeups this year. Zebby Matthews' changeup has been hit very hard. It's probably his worst pitch. And Jackson's been good against fastballs in the last month plus. So we'll see. Again, we went 3 for 3. The broadcast team is riding Jackson Holliday today.
Well, he's got himself in a pretty good spot when you don't need a base hit to score a run, and that's the situation right now.
First and third, nobody out. And a breaking ball is right on the corner for strike 2. Holliday 246, a 350 on base percentage. He's been above average in terms of production. 68 games, 32 walks, 6 home runs. 1-2 from Matthews coming. And Jackson punches 97 out of play. Today's Xfinity Power Connections highlight the Orioles over the last 3 games. They really were shut down by Dean Kramer for the first 7 innings Monday. They did rally on Monday. They did rally in the last couple innings, and they put up 20 runs over the last 3. Nearly 7 a game in that span after a very poor week plus of offense leading into that.
Nice block right there by Victor Carantini behind home plate for the Twins. Matthews has been good at home. 6 starts at home, the 2.84 ERA. His 9 starts on the road. The ERA is north of 7.
Holliday on his 6th pitch, little ground ball to second base. That's only one. He beats the return throw from Kreidler, sprinting his way down the line to pick up an RBI on the fielder's choice and open the scoring early for the O's.
That'll play, because when the Orioles score first this year, they're 17 games over 500. Ball wasn't hit quite firm enough, but Jackson was smelling that RBI right there. Of course, if you hit the double play, you don't get credit for a run batted in.
Holliday drives in his 22nd of the year, and here's Tyler O'Neill. 30 feet per second is considered elite sprint speed, and Jackson got down the line at 30 feet per second exactly. That is one of the many tools in his toolbox. Most hitters in the league, that's a double play, but now a base runner and only 1 out for O'Neill. And by the way, back-to-back days are picks to click, first inning RBIs.
Take it.
Come on.
Run batted in. People don't talk enough about RBIs, man, but to me it's still one of the most important things out there.
Holliday gets a huge jump, and he has to go back on strike 2. O'Neill went hunting for a center cutter, and it's 1-2 to Jackson.
Opponents have kind of had their way with the Twins. Watch this jump. Oh, leaning a little bit, and boy, he got his momentum going toward the next bag, and he never looked back at all. That was going to be a straight steal for him.
Well, you can really run on Victor Caratini, and the league has the worst catcher throwing out runners in baseball this year.
I think the Orioles have to take advantage of that.
O'Neill couldn't hold up on the slider. That's a strikeout for Zebby Matthews. 5th time O'Neill has struck out in the series, and there are 2 away.
Zebby Matthews not really considered a big strikeout guy. Came in with 73 of them in 86 innings of work. Now, typically the command is pretty good. I know he walked Gunnar Henderson to start the game, but only 28 walks in 86 innings of work. That's a pretty good ratio.
Gets O'Neill on his most used strikeout pitch, the slider, and brings up Dylan Beavers. Top shelf cutter called a strike. Tyler Jones, the plate umpire this afternoon. Beavers had a tough Monday night, 0 for 3 strikeouts. Had the day off yesterday. And he fouls away a center cut heater 0-2.
Like a lot of starting pitchers, Zebby Matthews has had trouble in the first this year. 15 starts. The ERA is a little over 7 in the first inning. That number's going up just a little bit.
First and the 5th are his tough innings. 720, as you mentioned, in the first, 969 in the 5th inning. That's strike 3 to Beavers, but the Orioles get a run. A Henderson walk, an Alonso single, a Holiday RBI. Twins 9th in baseball at 4.7 runs per game. They are terrific with runners in scoring position typically, though they were only 1 for 11 yesterday. Derek Shelton puts out a very similar lineup to yesterday. Big series for Royce Lewis and Brooks Lee, each of whom have 4 hits. And they'll have to face Shane Baz coming off his first career complete game.
Speaking of runs, Shane Baz has been on a run lately. How about this? Last 15 starts, 2.96 ERA. Remember his first 8 starts of the year, not 1 quality start. Last 15 starts, he's got 10 quality starts. That's how good he has been, making his 24th start of the year.
Trevor Larnach 0 for 5 yesterday to lead it off for the Minnesota Twins. And there's a nice start. A fastball twirling away, and Larnach chases it for strike 1. Only 92. We usually see that from Shane, a lower velocity to start the game and then picks up speed as it goes along. In fact, his average fastball in the Texas game, Ben, was the same in the first inning as it was in the 8th inning.
I love how he carries his velo later in ball games. Just like Brandon Young did. Brandon Young still pumping 95, 96 in the 6th after a busy outing for him last night.
Larnach up the middle and a sizzler past a sprawling Henderson. So after an 0 for 5 yesterday, Trevor Larnach has a leadoff knock.
Boy, and the Twins have applied a lot of pressure on the Orioles. Leadoff guy, it feels like, gets on just about every other inning. Let's take a look at the Oriole defense behind 27-year-old Shane Baz. Brought to you by Car Shield. Left to right in the outfield. Beavers, Franklin, and Tavares, your double play combination. The H&H boys are back. Henderson and Holiday. CES over at third. The Polar Bear at first. And Carlos Narvaez behind home plate for the Orioles.
Then that's now 12 out of 18 innings in this series. The Twins have had the leadoff man on.
It's a good offense. You touched on it. 4.7 runs per game. 9th best in baseball. That is certainly the strength of the Twins. Defensively, they're just average to slightly below average. The pitching staff has not been great, but they score runs.
Royce Lewis, a 4 for 8 series with a walk, 3 strikeouts. And the former #1 overall pick skies one deep left. Down the line it goes. That ball will come back fair and be caught by Beavers at the edge of the wall. Larnach tags it, takes second. Wow.
I thought that ball had a chance because they say it really carries good here. Straightaway left field, straightaway right field. Royce Lewis just misses his 14th home run of the year. Heads up play by Larnach, though. He saw Beavers pushing all the way back to the wall. He quickly went back to the bag and tagged up and took an extra 90, so in scoring position. And the Twins do a good job with runners in scoring position this year. They're the 2nd best team in baseball, although the Orioles have pitched them pretty good in this series. Twins are only 5 for 24 with runners in scoring position the first 2 games of this series.
The good news is only the 5. The bad news is 24 in 17 innings. A lot of opportunities, and Josh Bell has the first of the game. The Twins RBI leader and designated hitter. Bell takes a knuckle curve from Baz down and in for ball 1. Bell had a 3-run homer on Monday night. He's 2 for 8 in the series. He has walked, he has struck out. An all-star way back when. And a ground ball just foul. It's 1-2.
A couple of early changeups for Shane Baz.
Notable for Shane, who actually threw a lot of changeups in Texas. It was his 2nd most thrown pitch to the Texas lefties in that game. That's a welcome development for Baz. His highest usage of the season.
Well, he needs that changeup against the lefties because lefties hit him a good bit better than what right-handers do.
There's another one to Bell, but Bell flicks it into right for a base hit. Larnach will come in from third and tie the game. So Josh Bell delivers against the Orioles again. He's driven in 4 in the series, and a rare lead for Shane Baz is short-lived.
We talked about this last night. Josh Bell, doesn't matter what uniform he puts on, he seems to hit very well. against the Orioles. That was an elevated changeup. That ball's a little bit further down the way where Shane Baz wants it. He probably gets a rollover to the right side, but instead it was elevated enough for Josh Bell to drive in his 72nd RBI and tie this ball game.
Brings up Cody Clemens. Wide to Clemens for ball one. Cody was 0 for 3 yesterday, walked once, struck out twice. It's power and a whole lot of power. Very low on base percentage, very high slugging for Clemens.
19 homers last year, 20 homers this year to go along with 20 doubles.
More than half of Clemens' hits have gone for extra bases this year. Very, very, very good against curveballs. Slugging .677 against curves. That's obviously one of Shane Baz's signature pitches. And he has not thrown him a curveball yet. Now Clemens against four-seamers only hitting .182, slugging .401. So the curveball the strength, the four-seamer the weakness this season for him. In fact, last year was one of the worst fastball hitters in baseball. Takes a heater, a few hairs high. So 4-pitch walk to Cody Clemens. And just 13 pitches in, Carlos Narvaez is going to make a mound visit.
Just trying to figure it out in the first inning. And like Zebby Matthews, his worst inning is the first. Shane Baz's worst inning of the first 4 is the first inning with a 4.7 ERA.
Albertaz looking on here in the day game. And it'll be Brooks Lee, who's 4 for 8 in the series with a couple of twins on. Lee, a couple of doubles and a walk, has not struck out in the series. Everything in play except for that walk. 2 on, 1 out. And the dirt with a curveball to Brooks Lee. The 8th pick in the 2022 draft came from Cal Poly. Draft where Jackson Holliday went first overall. Orioles saw the 3rd pick in that draft this weekend. Kamar Rocker, the Rangers, they knocked him around. Now they see the 8th pick Lee, and he has knocked the ball around against them. 1-0. Zippy heater at the knees. Just about everybody in the Minnesota lineup hits well with runners in scoring position. Their OPS 793 is second best average, behind only the Dodgers now. And Lee misses the curveball for strike 2.
Twins offense kind of middle of the pack in base on balls, but the 11th fewest strikeouts. They don't strike out a ton.
And Lee hasn't struck out at all in this series. He does not strike out much on the year. See if Baz can change that here. Did he go? No, he held up. 2-2 to a .320 hitter with runners in scoring position this year, Brooks Lee. A 2-2. Not the command we saw in Texas, certainly,
no,
for Shane.
Not yet. That's what he did so well in Texas. A lot of first strikes. A high percentage of strikes. And boy, was he efficient. Anytime you go 8 innings in just 93 pitches, that's efficiency.
Bell and Clemens lead on a 3-2. And Lee lofts it down the line and foul. He's getting a lot of curveballs here from Shane Baz. Nine strikeouts for Shane against the Rangers. 4 on the curve, 3 on the fastball, 2 on the cutter.
4th time this year he struck out 9. That's his season high.
And he will will step off with only 1 second left on the pitch clock. A 7th pitch to Lee will be Boz's 20th of the first inning. And Lee pops it in the air the other way. Beavers in the sunshine and left makes the catch. And that's out number 2.
Big pitch there.
Well, the Orioles have come through in these spots in the season series against the Twins. Twins have one more run than the Orioles. Orioles have one more win. Twins a better average, but the Orioles have been significantly stronger with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, the Orioles win this game, man. They win the season series against the Twins, which could end up being a big thing.
Narvaez back to first. A quick tag by Pete is not in time on Clemens. All 1 to Luke Kershaw. Now, why could that matter if the Orioles and Twins end up in a tie for wild card position? First tiebreakers head to head. Orioles do not have the head-to-head tiebreaker against Texas. They do have it against surging Detroit. Here's a 1-0. Backup cutter slapped out of play. Luke Kershaw was 1 for 1 yesterday. Walked twice and was hit by a pitch. In the series, he's 2 for 4. He's walked 3 times and been hit by 2 pitches. So he has reached base 7 out of 9 times. Now a team high 361 on base percentage. 2 on, 2 out, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 run apiece. And Boz with a top shelf heater for strike 2.
That fastball velocity starting to come.
Second-year Twin Kershaw, who was their best rookie last year in 49 games, a regular starter between second, center, and right. Not a great defensive player, not a ton of power, but his on-base skills are very valuable, and the Twins will certainly try to find a long-term home for Kershaw, who is only 23. He's not sure where that position is right now. .25 pitch first inning after this one from Boz. Bell and Clemens still leading. And Kershaw hits a ground ball to Encarnacion Strand. Just mere steps from the bag. He gets the fielder's choice out. Twins tie it, and we're 1-1 through 1. Orioles had 3 homers yesterday. They're up to a tie for 14th home runs per game in the majors, 141. And here's the guy who had the most impressive home run. We still don't even know where the ball landed.
It landed way out there, 460 feet out there.
Christian Encarnacion Strand, part of a 3-hit day. And CES gets jammed here, and the ball to shallow left. And Larnach finds it. 22 pitch first inning for Zebby Matthews, 25 for Shane Boz. And the pitchers will hope to pick up the pace here in the second. Here's Leody Taveras. I almost went with him as my pick to click, and now that we all went with Jackson Holiday, I almost feel like I need a backup. Taveras had a triple on Monday, and the day off yesterday. Nice fastball there, will be challenged.
Pitch was called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
Tyler Jones, the plate umpire. Victor Caratini, the catcher. And ABS is always powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is a strike. Minnesota has 2 remaining.
The Twins are really, really, really good at this. They have challenged more on defense than any team but the White Sox. They're 1 behind them coming into today, so now it's tied them. And they have now won 117 defensive challenges. That's the most. And they have overturned at a 61% rate. 10th best with the most challenges. Very, very successful. It's been interesting to watch the ABS system and work between different teams this year. For example, the Orioles have only challenged 111 times on defense, so that's the 3rd fewest in baseball. That's 80 fewer challenges than the Twins. Taveras out of play. Have you noticed ABS changing or teams strategizing differently as we've gotten deeper into the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think some teams are very aggressive early, and other teams it feels like they want to save a challenge, a late challenge, no matter what. So I think a lot of teams are still trying to figure out how they want to use their challenges. The important thing is knowing the situation to use them in.
Twins also have the second most challenges on offense, 145. They have a 48% win rate there, which is a little below the middle of the pack. Taveras is going to see his 7th pitch here, and he fouls this one out of play as well. So a good battle by Leote. 104th game of the year for Taveras, 225, 661 OPS. That is American League high 6th triple, tying for the league lead on Monday. So leads the O's with 10 steals. Wow, strike 3 call.
He challenged
way
it
off
too.
The plate.
Pitch is called a strike. The batter's challenging.
Second challenge of this at bat. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Looked like to me it got off the outside edge with some late movement.
Pitch is a ball. Baltimore has 2 remaining.
These are the pitches that really promote the power of the challenge system. That's clearly a strike. That's not a borderline pitch that maybe some umpires give, some don't. Those are the pitches that ABS was destined to overturn.
It's tough for umpires these days because the way pitchers are making balls move these days, it's really tough, and at high velocity too.
That's shot the other way, but it's the third baseman Lee near short. That was a good at bat by Taveras, but a hard hit ground ball finds the glove of Lee on the 9th pitch. Thursday, August 20th, the Orioles host the Yankees, a rescheduled day for Christian Faith Night, which features post-game player testimonials, guest speakers, and a live performance by Sorensen. You can get your tickets at Orioles.com/ticket packages. Christian Franklin, the third batter of the inning. 2-pitch out for Encarnacion Strand, and a 9-pitch out against Taveras. Franklin in search of his second big league hit, and he's in a 1-1 count.
First big league hit came off a left-handed pitcher trying to get his first big league hit off of a right-handed pitcher, hopefully today.
Here's a tapper to third. That ball is ruled foul. Very nice play by Lee, but all for naught.
Close, but foul. Of course, that was Tyler Jones's call, the home plate umpire.
Well, the Orioles are hoping Christian Franklin will start to find a groove here. Remember, he's just over a week into his big league career. They like his quick bat, like his athleticism. Craig Albernaz said he just likes how much of a gamer he is. And obviously he's had to get through some adversity. 5 years in the minor leagues.
And he's got some hit and pop in there too. Not a big guy, but the ball comes off the bat pretty good. And solid on defense so far.
Franklin smacks one to right field. There's a base hit. His second major league hit, his first off a righty. A very sharp opposite field single.
Love that approach too. 2-strike count. He just letting that ball travel, letting it get deep. And you have to off Matthews, because we talked about his bread and butter are the 2 breaking balls, the slider and the curveball. Those are his 2 best pitches. So you get down in 2 strikes, you better be trying to hit the fastball here to the backside of the field and save some bat for those off-speed pitches. That ball came off too. He smoked that one.
He's got a big lead at first as well. And Caratini noticed it. A late pickoff throw. Back-to-back balls at 101 off the bat against Matthews. Those are both hard hit balls, and Franklin gets a single for his troubles. Already has a big league steal. Very small lead here, though. Trying to get a hopping lead and time Matthews. Carlos Narvaez into left field. Base hits out of the 8 and 9 spots. Franklin's second major league hit. Narvaez's third Orioles hit. And a rally from nowhere brings up Gunnar Henderson with a couple of birds aboard.
Orioles looking for a little two-out magic. First two guys make out pretty quickly, and back-to-back singles, one by Franklin, this one by Narvaez, and both of those balls stung pretty well.
Narvaez is in there after catching the final 6+ innings of the game yesterday. Joel Pozo suffered a bruised left index finger when Josh Bell's backswing knocked off his glove, hit his hand. The good news is x-rays were negative and Pozo is available today. But Narvaez starting a 5th time in 6 games on the road trip and scheduled to play the bulk of a 6th consecutive game on the trip. And he gets his first hit of this series.
And Gunnar Henderson will look to get the Orioles back on top. Orioles pretty good in this series. Runners in scoring position first 2 games. 5 for 15.
After a visit from Caratini. First pitch curveball for Matthews. It's a pitch he does not throw much, but he's thrown a lot more this year. Only a 143 average against it. A little brush back on ball 1 from Zebby Matthews. Known for his fastball coming through the Twin system. Baseball America said he had the best fastball in the system a year ago. Henderson ground ball pulled to Royce Lewis, and that'll get the Twins out of the inning. Hits by Franklin and Narvaez a little too late.
In fact, he said he wished he'd had this procedure earlier, that he had known what was going on. He credits the Orioles medical staff for getting him back where he is right now. I asked him if he thought this surgery could address some of the other issues or was maybe address the sources of some of the other issues he had on the mound. He said absolutely, because he hadn't felt this good in quite some time. Also talked to manager Craig Albanez about him. He said about his return, he said he is trending in the right direction. I think we could see Bassett sooner rather than later.
Could be. We don't have any official word, but could be Friday after the off day in Tampa Bay. Craig Albanez did say the probables are all still TBA for that series. But great news on Bassett. I know, Ben, you talked to him recently, and it sounds like a very similar message that he gave Rob.
I talked to him before his final rehab start, and he said his back feels great, but he's having to relearn his body and his mechanics in some ways.
Victor Caratini down the line and left. That's a foul ball.
He said because his back was bothering him before surgery, he couldn't really get down the slope like he wanted to. His body wasn't free, and he was forcing his body to move like he wanted it to. And he said now that he's had the surgery, he said his back feels great. And he said now he's getting down the mound a lot quicker, and he's just letting it naturally happen like he's had for so many years. So he feels pretty good about where he is right now. And that kind of explains, when you think about it, because he was manipulating his body a little bit, why the command and maybe why the velo was off a little bit while he was pitching.
Haven't seen Chris since June 3rd at Boston. So 2 months without Bassett in the rotation. Had a couple of good starts. Did have 2 6-inning 1-run starts, a 6 2/3 1-run start, a 5-inning scoreless. But clearly he wasn't himself. Walks
strikeouts were down.
Strikeouts down.
Walks were up. Strikeouts were down.
Victor Caratini towards second. Nice backhand play. That's what the Orioles been working on with Jackson Holliday, going to his backhand, and he makes that one smoothly.
I do see improvement, though. Still, Jackson's got to get better, and he will on the balls to the backhand side. He's always been pretty good going to his glove side, going towards first base.
Rob, what else you got?
We talked to Craig Albanez about that yesterday. He said the one thing that Miguel Cairo had been working on with over and over with Jackson Holliday is the backhand. And while he still has some improvement to go, he has made a lot of improvements so far. He's much better at that, like Ben said.
We're going to get a challenge here.
Catcher's challenging.
On the first pitch to Alan Roden. ABS powered by T-Mobile is getting a workout in early. Machines are firing. And Narvaez got it right. But yes, to Rob's point, big strides for Jackson Holliday. Remember last year, Tony Mansolino said late in the year, you give Jackson Holliday 3 years, he will be a Gold Glove finalist. He believed that, the work ethic he saw with Holliday. And part of it is about what we hear at Pete Alonso, getting in an athletic position, being able to move laterally well.
He's a good athlete. There's no doubt about that. And I totally agree. The more reps he gets, the more the internal clock gets better for him.
It's a base hit to left, Allen Road. So the Twins are not exactly lasering his changeup around, boss, but they have a couple of soft singles to the outfield off that changeup.
Not hit hard, but the elevation on the changeup right now is a little bit higher than where Boz wants it.
When you're elevating your changeup, what would you do to correct that?
You try to finish. You set your sights a little bit lower, and you try to miss down. You try to make that adjustment. You say, okay, if I've missed up a couple times, I'm going to miss down this time.
Ryan Kreidler in the right. Taveras barely had to move, and there are 2 away.
And you think about extension. You really think about reaching towards the glove, reaching out, and letting that ball go out in front of your nose and make sure you're missing in the right spots with it.
Our Blue Moon bright spot highlights the Shane Baz changeup. First 15 starts. Not a pitch he threw a lot, not a good results pitch. The last 8 has not allowed an extra base hit on it. 154 against. A couple of years ago, this was a big pitch for Shane Baz. It has fallen out of favor a little bit as he developed the cutter, as he continued to throw the curveball, but he's working it back into a major part of the arsenal. And they can still do that. Zip out a fastball to Trevor Larnach.
Well, that's what could make the changeup really good, is the difference between the 2 pitches velocity-wise, right? The fastball is going to average right at 96. So he takes 13 to 15 miles per hour off. It becomes a tough adjustment for hitters.
Larnach slugs one to right field. Taveras underneath it near the basket. And Shane Baz rebounds with a scoreless 2nd inning. We're still tied at 1 in this rubber game. Goal line scores. Alonso would be happy to play more games here at Target Field. It's the site of his longest career home run, a 489-footer to the 3rd deck, his rookie year of 2019.
And he said it wasn't straight away left field. It was more toward left center field.
The longest of his now 290 career home runs, and none of the 4 at Target Field are cheapies at all. 427 in there, 416, 418. You can see the far left one. That's just a crazy shot, an estimated 489.
So 2 of them in the upper tank?
2 of them. 10 games here at Target Field. He's hitting .351. He's slugging .757. He's got 4 homers, 3 doubles, 6 walks in 10 games coming in. And he had a hit in the first inning.
Yeah. Well, the batter's eye is really good here. If you look at the batter's eye straight away center field, it's an ivy on that batter's eye right there. And the hitters were telling me yesterday around the batting cage they can really pick up the ball pretty good. Now, it may be a little bit different during daytime. I don't know. But at nighttime, they say they can really pick it up.
2-2 from Matthews, 8th rounder out of Western Carolina 4 years ago. And Pete goes back up the middle again. His 2nd base hit through the box.
I love where he's hitting the ball, KB. Man, he is staying on it, staying through it.
Got a cutter in the 1st, a 4-seamer in the 3rd. Pete has another multi-hit game.
2nd time in 3 innings. The Orioles got the leadoff batter of an inning on. Matthews missed a spot there. You could see where Carantini was set up on the outside part of the plate. That ball runs right back into the barrel.
Well, for Pete Alonso, it's now 3 multi-hit games in the last 4.
And been on base a lot. Remember, he was on base 5 times in Texas in that final game of that series. On base 4 times last night, twice so far today.
It's 12 out of 16 plate appearances. One of the things that's been so refreshing about Pete, he just doesn't go into long slumps. He was 4 for 25 in that 7-game stretch into Sunday at Texas. 9 strikeouts. He was scuffling. And not only has he gotten out of the slump, he's now in one of his most prolonged hot streaks of the year. American League ranks since May the 1st. You take out a tough month of April. Look at where he ranks. Most RBIs in the AL since the start of May. 2-2 for Holiday, who has the only RBI for the Orioles today.
Petey has been everything the Orioles hoped he would be, and then some.
Three multi-hit games in the last 4, which he also did in late July. Here's the 2-2. Outside to Jackson. He's run the count full.
Pitch count climbing for Matthews, too. This will be pitch number 54 as T.O. waits his turn.
And Holiday smokes a fastball out of play. Justin Lynn said back in July the Orioles were really working with Jackson Holiday on velocity, taking a pitching machine and moving it closer and closer, dialing the velocity up and up to force him to react quicker. The results have paid off. And he strikes out here on a changeup after all that velocity. Matthews gets him on one of his better changeups of the game.
Yeah, I mean a perfectly placed fastball or changeup as well. Fastball, then a changeup. Watch where this changeup ends up. Just perfectly on the outside edge. That changeup by Matthews got a lot of movement. Watch the left to right movement right at the end right there.
Tyler O'Neill. He's first pitch swinging. That ball's drilled to center field and skips in front of Keishel for a base hit.
T.O. wasting no time at all. Speaking of hot, he's been pretty hot as well. This Oriole offense is heating up. Last 3 games, man, 20 runs on the scoreboard. Their previous 8 games, only 17 runs they scored. First pitch heater pretty much right down the middle.
So 2 balls squarely into center. O'Neill's second hit of the series. And the Orioles have put 2 base runners on each of the first 3 innings.
A lot of traffic so far. Only 1 run to show for it, but an opportunity to add right here.
Quick challenge by Victor Caratini.
Catcher's challenging.
That's the closest one that's been challenged today. It's the 4th challenge already. And it is a strike.
Minnesota has 2 remaining.
Man, oh man, are they aggressive. ABS powered by T-Mobile by a shade. Caratini gets strike 1. So 0-1 to Beavers, who struck out on 3 pitches and is now down 0-2. The Twins are getting their money's worth. Ryan Jeffers and Victor Caratini, the regular catchers, have been incredibly successful at this. Here's the 0-2. It's outside to Beavers. 2-2. Ryan Jeffers earlier in the year caught a pitch on a double steal, tumbled to the ground, and challenged the pitch and won. They have just been amazing at this, their catching combination. When you're 59-62, a game and a half out in the wild card, those little margins really matter. It's not a great pitching staff, 26th in ERA, and the Twins have largely been a poor defensive team, but they've gained a little hidden value. They're one of the teams who best utilize ABS.
Bullpen's better, though. Wynn got Hoffman. Wynn got A.J. Minter. Of course, added Dean Kramer.
6 pitch coming to Beavers. Alonso and O'Neill aboard. 1-1 in the 3rd. Dylan, fly ball to deep right field. This one's headed back. This one is going to go.
There we go.
Dylan Beavers finally breaks through. His first home run in 46 games. His first home run in 151 plate appearances. It's a weaver here in Minnesota.
It's a Beaver weaver, and the first of his career, too. Well, was that a nice short stroke? And that's where they've been trying to attack him with breaking balls down and in and underneath the bat. But this ball never got there. It never got down and in. Dylan Beavers' third long ball, his 22nd RBI, and the Orioles up by 3 in the third. The old Beaver Weaver.
One of the great places to hit in that ballpark, right center where there's the little hanging basket. Dylan knocked it a few rows back. As Christian Encarnacion Strand lines out softly to first. A 3-run home run. It's been about a month since the Orioles have done this.
Look at this breaking ball. Try to get it down and it never got there. Look how short. Watch the swing. I mean, just nice and short. Didn't hardly even follow through. But when you find the barrel, it will go for a while. That ball easily got out of here. And Zebby Matthews can give him up. And that's one kind of chink in his armor. That's his 18th home run he's allowed in about 88 innings of work. So that's a lot. And that's got to feel really good for Dylan Beavers.
Ben, I tell you, I almost took him as I picked a click today.
Me too. I was thinking about it.
You got to go back to April 24th against Boston. That is the last time Dylan Beavers homered. He did saw off a Brian Bayo in that game where the Orioles had 3 home runs in the first inning.
Another challenge.
Pitcher's called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
All right, Victor Caratini again. ABS powered by T-Mobile. 5th challenge of the game.
Pitcher's a strike. Minnesota has 2 remaining.
The teams are 5 for 5. The Orioles had not had a 3-run home run or a grand slam in their last 30 consecutive games. That changes now with, as you said, a Beaver Weaver.
I love it, man. First visit for Dylan Beavers to Target Field, and he did not disappoint on that swing. Got him a hanging breaking ball, and he knows what to do with those hanging breaking balls. You find the barrel, they leave the ballpark. O's up.
Since late April.
This goes to show you don't have to have a ton of bat speed all the time. The key is just finding the barrel.
First homer since April 24th. The Orioles' first 3-run homer or grand slam since July the 4th.
It's been a minute.
30 games without one. The last 3+ run homers. Samuel Basallo at Cincinnati on Independence Day.
Big inning for Shane Baz right now. Orioles typically they don't get a lot of run support when he pitches.
And it's going to start with a hit down the line from Royce Lewis. He'll think 2. Beavers' throw is going to be late. So Lewis plops a knuckle curve into left for a leadoff double, and there they go again. The Twins with the leadoff man on for the 13th time in 20 innings.
It has been traffic after traffic. Now the Orioles, for the most part, the pitching staff, they've been able to navigate that traffic the first 2 games. But it gets harder and harder against this kind of offense, an offense that doesn't strike out a ton. Royce Lewis, a former 1-1 overall.
5 hits for Lewis in the series, and now Bell blisters 1 to the netting. Such a stop-start career for Royce Lewis as the #1 overall. I mean, he's 9 years removed from being drafted, and he's still going to be under team control through the end of 2028. Bell, left side base hit. Lewis will hold at third. Josh Bell is 2 for 2, 4 for 10 in the series. And it's a big inning for Shane Baz, but it's not off to a good start.
No. And I've already seen enough of Josh Bell. Every year I say this. That dude can just flat out hit, man. Pitch him the inside part of the plate. The hands are quick enough to pull the ball. You go outside with him, and he'll just hit a rocket to the backside.
Royce Lewis was still messing with his gloves when that ball was hit. You better be ready when Josh is up there. Here's Cody Clemens. He goes after a first pitch curveball. After a 4-pitch walk, Clemens a first pitch chase.
Shane Baz would love to pick up his first strikeout of the game right here. Double play works too. I think the Orioles will trade 1 for 2 outs.
High strike with a curve right to the corner. Mentioned earlier, Cody Clemens crushes curveballs.
Yeah, he will expand top shelf on a fastball, though, just above the top of the zone.
And he's gone after him with 2 curveballs here. Will he go to that top shelf now? He tried to do it, left it in the zone.
Well, the sequence said it was right? You throw a curveball up there first. And out of that same arm slot, same hand position, you throw an elevated fastball. Didn't quite get it as hot as he wanted to get it. I might try it one more time and get it above the top of the zone.
Back to the curveball, which was swatted out of play. Does that swing confirm your thinking?
Yeah. Well, we've watched Cody Clemens over the years, and I saw him last night chase a couple fastballs above the top of the zone. And if you're trying to get a swing and a miss with him, that's where you want to go.
Top shelf heater. Clemens was all over it, though. So he does go above the zone, but Cody Clemens with a short swing. And the Twins on 3 straight hits have cut the lead to 4-2.
Cody Clemens was guessing right along with Shane Baz and Carlos Narvaez there. On a 2-strike count, to be able to go up above the top of the zone and get this pitch right here, you got to be sitting on it. And boy, did he ever. Watch how flat this swing is. That is a nice flat swing on an elevated fastball.
Double, single, single. Brooks Lee's now the go-ahead run with nobody out. First pitch, changeup from Shane. Twins have 6 hits in the first 13 batters plus a walk, so more than half of the Twins have reached base so far.
Only 7 hits last night for the Twins, but 14 in game 1 of this series.
Lee a little jittery, and that's strike 2. Todd Tichenor, the crew chief, at third with the raised fist. Well, this is Shane's 5th 2-strike count of the game. He's given up 2 2-strike hits. Struck out 9 in Texas Friday. Lee to right center field. That slug for a hit. Bell to third base, and a stop sign from Ramon Borrego. So the Twins load the bases. Another 2-strike hit. Brooks Lee has 5 hits in the series, and here comes Drew French after 4 straight Minnesota hits.
And the last 2 on pitches that weren't even strikes. Cody Clemens goes up and gets a fastball above the top of the strike zone. Watch where this ball is. Might have been a strike. Might have been off the inside edge, but a good move. So 4 consecutive hits for the Twins to start the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, here's how different this game is for Shane Baz from Friday. He's faced 14 batters today. He's allowed 7 hits and a walk. He hasn't struck out anybody. He has nobody out in the 3rd. By the time he faced his 14th batter in Texas Friday, it was his first out in the 5th inning. He had struck out 7 of the 14 at that point. He didn't walk anybody and allowed 1 hit. So he was almost perfect at this point in the game, and today the Twins are pouring it on. Here's Luke Keyshaw, incredibly patient hitter. Bases full, nobody out. A little bit low. We haven't seen Shane pop those high velocities he can get to today either. It's come up a little bit as the game, but he's still down about 2 miles per hour from his year average.
Well, he started him off with a sinker. He's trying to roll a ground ball.
Whoa, way up high with the cutter.
I mean, this is what you call a big miss here. Trying to get that cutter down and away.
So 2-0 for Keyshaw, rolled out to 3rd. Keyshaw to center field on a line. Christian Franklin makes the catch. Josh Bell will test his arm, and the throw is late. Keyshaw with a sacrifice fly drives in his first run of the series, and the Twins get to within a run at 4-3.
Twins pretty good with sac flies this year. That's their 36th. That ranks in the top 10 in baseball. Christian Franklin, that's the perfect ball you want as an outfielder right there, where you got to come in, you got the momentum going forward, but not in time.
A hard throw, not an accurate one. And now Boz would love to get a double play against Victor Caratini, get out of this mess. Oriole infield still playing a little bit tighter. Obviously they're not all the way in without a runner at third. They are moving to double play depth in the middle. Now the corner infielders are a little bit further back. 0-1 for Caratini. Clemens and Lee are the runners, and the curveball fades low. Might just be one of those days for Shane Baz. Doesn't have his usual velo. Spin rates are a little down. Location has not been great.
But we always talk about the thirds for starting pitchers. Third of the time you got your A game, like he did the last time out. Third of the time it's just kind of okay. Then the third of the time you are struggling. You are just trying to FIO, figure it out on the run. And it feels like one of those days for Shane Baz.
They had a few starts ago as well against Atlanta. He went 4 1/3, and Caratini to center field is going to tie up this game. A 3-run home run at the top of the third for Beavers. A 3-run inning on 5 hits and a sacrifice fly for the Twins in the bottom. Caratini makes it 4-4.
See the changeup again? It's on the outside part of the plate, but this is the third one for me that's been hit for a base hit that's been elevated. And when they're elevated just enough, instead of getting those ground balls you want for double plays, they end up being humpback line drives or fly balls.
Caratini's first hit of the series, his 38th RBI. Still only 1 out, and the Orioles are going to get the bullpen up here in the third. Two 2-0 for the number 8 hitter, Alan Roden. And Sanders again. Saw him for 2 innings on Monday.
He was good too. Game 1 of this series.
Fly ball right center. Franklin racing back. Franklin near the wall. It's over his glove. Off the fence and kicks back to Taveras. It'll only score 1. Caratini got a late jump. Lee is in. Roden to second. And the Twins have scored 4 runs here in the third to turn a 3-run deficit into a 1-run lead.
6th base hit of the inning for the Twins. We talked about this offense. It is a good one. A top 10 offense. Do they ever make you pay with runners in scoring position?
Two for 2 for Roden, light hitting outfielder. Now Ryan Kreidler on a first pitch line out to right and attacks a cutter here. Twins are 6 out of 8 today, runners in scoring position. 6 for 8.
Yep. Second best team in baseball. That's what they do.
Infield in for Kreidler, who shows bunt and bunts it foul. Almost drilled his teammate Larnach in the on deck area. Shane Baz, the pitcher, does not allow a lot of home runs at all. Oh,
Coming right at you.
In this inning, he hasn't allowed a home run, though. Roden came close. Death by 1,000 paper cuts here. Double, single,
Nice
single,
pick.
single. Good block by Narvaez there. Sack fly, single, double. Twins are 9 for 15 with a walk and a sack fly. And a team that one of the better contact teams in the league, the 9th lowest strikeout rate in baseball, already has 3 two-strike hits. No strikeouts for Boz until there.
First one of the day, and a much needed one too. Best knuckle curve of the day. Starts it right about just above the knees and drops it below.
An awfully big one with runners at second and third and now 2 away. Here's Trevor Larnach, 9th batter of the inning. Takes a cutter for a strike. Might be the final batter for Boz either way. This has been a 28 pitch inning. Cam Sanders is now ready to go in the bullpen. Larnach lifts one down the line. That ball's foul. It's 0-2.
Been a weird game for me for Shane Boz. Almost like the Twins know what's coming. Like they've attacked a few balls not even in the strike zone for base hits.
It's like the inverse of Monday night where the Twins didn't swing at anything out of the zone against Rogers. It felt like they knew it was coming from Rogers and decided not to swing. Today they are swinging. Two strikes to Larnach. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Boz. He strands 2 in scoring position, but the Twins get 4 home to take the lead. Well, it's been an eventful start to this game. 5-4 Twins after 3. Each team scored in the first. The O's got a 3-run third inning as Dylan Beavers homered in. Pete Alonso and Tyler O'Neill, who had singled. And the Twins get 4 in the third on 6 hits. Now, yesterday we had a crazy first 3 innings. It was 5-2. Teams had scored in 5 of the 6 half innings, and then nobody scored from there. So we'll see if today's game follows a similar pattern or if it stays nutty. Not a start to remember so far for either Boz or Zebby Matthews. And Christian Franklin will take ball 1 from Zebby. Oh, challenged.
Pitcher's called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
Now Victor Caratini hesitated on this one, and maybe he should have listened to his hesitation. He finally got one wrong.
Minnesota has 1 remaining.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. That's a surprising challenge for a guy who's been on it. That's not even close. So the Twins, the first team to lose a challenge. Franklin and Carlos Narvaez each singled their first time. Gunnar Henderson's next up. That's outside for ball 2. Orioles with a hit in every inning. Multiple base runners in every inning against Matthews. And that's a strike with a backup cutter. It's 2-2. Pitcher whose swing and miss rate's gone way down this year, Matthews. He does have 4 strikeouts today, though. A good take by Franklin to run the count full. Much less in the zone this year. Work rate 28 to 23%, which is well below league average for Zebby Matthews. The slider is the strikeout pitch. He throws the cutter here, and it's fouled away.
Matthews was a quick mover through the Twin system, too. Only made 52 minor league starts before getting called up to the big leagues.
Shane Baz stewing after a 4-run fourth against him. And his offense will try to get him back on the right side as Franklin takes a walk.
A good start in the top of the fourth.
Well, join us next Thursday for Orioles Beach Hat Day, presented by Visit Sarasota. 10,000 fans get a nose beach hat for the 6:35 game with the Yankees. Go to Orioles.com/tickets. Third time in 4 innings, the Orioles have the leadoff man on, and here's Carlos Narvaez. I'll tell you what I know you like today. I know you like those bright orange sleeves.
I do. I'm glad he don't have those red ones on anymore.
Finally got the full boatload of equipment. 2 strikes on Narvaez. Lined a fastball in the left his first time. Sounds like Samuel Basallo is getting closer to rehab games. He's had a few days of taking swings in the batting cage this series. He's been throwing over the past week.
Yep, he threw today. He ran today. I saw him running today. So certainly getting closer.
We also saw Blaze Alexander fielding ground balls and throwing today. So good sign for 2 of the most critical Oriole position players. Love to get them back sometime this month. 1-2 for Narvaez. Ground ball shortstop. This should be 2, and it will be 2. 6-4-3 to erase Franklin. So Matthews has a chance to face the minimum for the first time in the game. Gunnar Henderson will hope to spoil that. Gunner's walked and grounded out. And he's in a 1-0 count. There has been walking of late. Now, he hadn't been hitting until yesterday. That's where he's so dangerous. But this is a 2-0 changeup, and this is popped up. And Matthews will face the minimum thanks to the double play. A quick 4th inning for the Twin starter.
Easy oil change plus free top offs and vacuuming. Jiffy does it all. Shane Baz out of this game after 3 innings of work. 9 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Time for Cam Sanders, who was really good in game 1 of this series. Sanders making his 13th appearance between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Now, he's been much better with the Orioles. Has not allowed a run in his couple appearances in an Oriole uniform.
Well, Shane Baz has his shortest start as an Oriole. Gave up 9 hits and only got 9 outs. And we'll see if Cam Sanders can be good again. Kind of a cruel moment for Shane Baz. Finally got some run support, Ben. I mean, we've been begging for Shane Baz. The Orioles have only scored 3 runs combined in his last 3 games. He finally gets some run support today, but he gives it right back. He just did not look right with his velocity or his command today.
He wasn't getting down the mound like he typically does for me. The arm speed just wasn't there. There's the numbers. Only 1 walk. He's been doing a good job with that. Hadn't been walking any better, but certainly the Twins had his number today. I felt like the changeup was elevated a little bit too much and too many misses in the heart of the plate.
It's his shortest outing since September 12th last year with the Rays at the Cubs. And Sanders, fastball slicing through Royce Lewis, 2-2.
Here's the changeups we were talking about. See how elevated these changeups are. Typically, you want these changeups, especially the left-handed hitters, to be down and away. But you see the elevation on them? And none of them were hit extremely hard, but when you leave it up, they're able to get enough barrel and enough air underneath it to dump it out in the field, and that's what the Twins did. So that says 3 of the last 4 starts, the starters for the Orioles have had shorter starts. Povich went 3, Rogers went 4. Good start by Brandon Young last night.
He grinded through 6. And Sanders challenges Lewis and wins the challenge right in the heart of the plate. So Cam Sanders comes out firing. He picks up another strikeout.
I like Cam Sanders stuff, man. 2 4 seam fastball, good breaking ball, and some good velocity to go with it. He just kind of comes right after you.
What do you think Royce Lewis was asking Tyler Jones? Because that pitch was right down the middle. Is it a strike? Yes. Of course it was.
How much did I miss it? Maybe that's what he asked.
How's the breeze for back there? Royce with a double and a run, 1 for 3.
That's a strike. There you go.
Challenge it, Norby.
Pitch is called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
Come on, everybody challenged today. ABS powered by T-Mobile. That's
Pitch is a strike. Baltimore has 2 remaining.
It's not too late, Derek.
I mean, how many low strikes is Tyler Jones going to miss today?
I think we just heard Tyler Jones say it's not too late, Derek. Derek Shelton was asking if Narvaez challenged too late. Some of you may be old enough to remember Derek Shelton being upset that the Orioles were granted time to challenge earlier this year. Remember the opening series of the year when Derek Shelton got ejected for some ABS shenanigans. Anyway, Josh Bell. It's only a single. I mean, what else could you say? This is
3 for 3.
Ridiculous.
And I mean, he sprays it too. Backside of the field, pull side, up the middle, it doesn't matter.
Another elevated changeup.
Yep. Changeups are great pitches when they're in the right spot.
Now, this is twice in 3 days we have had a StatCast element of changeups thrown by an Orioles starter. The first was Trevor Rogers. Remember on Monday, Rogers didn't throw any of his changeups down and away. He was throwing them down, but they were all in. And then today, all of Baz's were up. So different areas of the zone, but that's twice this series that an Oriole starter has not been able to command his changeup.
And the Orioles have used their changeup a lot against, and maybe it's the scouting report against the Twins.
Sanders gets it out against Cody Clemens there, 2 away.
Drew French, Oriole pitching coach, looking on.
Outside to Brooks Lee. Well, I'll tell you this, the Twins have seen the 2nd highest percentage of off-speed pitches of any team in baseball.
Well, there you go.
And they are the 2nd worst team by batting average against off-speed pitches, 2nd worst slugging, only better than Cleveland. So if you're wondering why a few more changeups, that will be why. Twins hitting is 193, slugging 266 on off-speed pitches. That's changeups and splitters this year. Against fastballs, the Twins have the 3rd highest slug in baseball and the 8th best batting average.
That's always the decision you make as a starting pitcher. Do you pitch to your strengths or do you pitch to the other team's weaknesses a little bit?
This is what we were talking about, by the way. Derek Shelton was upset. Ryan Helsley called for a challenge. Remember, Derek Shelton didn't see that. He saw the 2nd challenge. He thought it was too late. And he went a little ballistic and got ejected.
Just a little ballistic.
Just a little bit. So he was yapping again. Tyler Jones shut him down. Lee did not swing. It's 3-2. That became the humorous sign of the ABS times when 4 days into the season we had our first ABS related ejection. Things have calmed down since. The unofficial guidance we've heard is it's about 2 seconds for a player to challenge. They can take a beat and then challenge. That's what Narvaez did, and he got it right early in the inning. 3-2 to Lee. Little backside flare to the left. That's a base hit. He may be having about a league average season, but Brooks Lee can just flat out find the outfield grass.
And it's such a good 2-strike approach too. And I think a lot of the Twins have this. It's the reason why they don't strike out a ton. They just kind of shorten up with 2 strikes, just try to find the barrel.
How many Twins hits have there been outside the strike zone today?
And how many 2-strike hits too?
4 2-strike hits now, and Lee has 2 of them. Lee, by the way, has 6 hits in the series. You ready for this? They've all been with 2 strikes. So if he seems a little bit tougher, that's probably why. 6 hits, 6 of them with 2 strikes. Now Luke Keishall has also been a real pest. And he didn't take his time. Tyler Jones is saying eyes on the batter. I'm sure Cam Sanders gave Keishall time to be alert and to the pitcher. 20th pitch of the inning coming. 2 on, 2 out, 5-4 Minnesota in the 4th. Keishall gets a backup slider and pops it into left field. Dylan Beavers will make the catch. Sanders has another scoreless inning. Nothing but zeros. Is
the center part of the field. And working on his best series in a long time too. 6 for 10 in this 3-game series so far.
Pete Alonso was 3 for 3, 2 homers, 2 walks Sunday. Had a hit Monday, 3 hits and a walk yesterday. Can he get another 3-hit game? He'll attack the first one from Zebby Matthews and drive it foul. Orioles have had the leadoff man on 3 out of 4 innings. They've scored 1 in the first, 3 in the third. 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks against Matthews, but a 5-4 Twins lead. Alonso pops up a good slider. It's 0-2. Well, Matthews is trying to do what Bailey Ober did yesterday. Got hit around for the first 3 innings, then settled in. In fact, Ober yesterday retired the final 7 he faced. And retired 11 of the final 12 after the Encarnacion Strand homer. 1-2 for Pete.
Zebby Matthews got off to a really good start when he was called up. Matter of fact, 7 of his first 9 starts were quality starts, and he hasn't been quite as good since then.
He'd swing on a hanging curveball that got Caratini square in the face.
Boy, it just knocks him too, right on his rear end.
Twins bullpen quiet for now. 85 pitches deep for Matthews. Jackson Holliday and Tyler O'Neill will bat after Pete. Dylan Beavers, who's homered, if anybody reaches. 2-2. Alonso smacks it over to third. 1 big hop for Brooks Lee. And Alonso is retired for the first time today. Birdland, join us Sunday, August 23rd. The Orioles host the Rays at 1:35, and 20,000 fans will get an exclusive Orioles cap presented by DAP. Go to Orioles.com/tickets. With that big homestand around the corner against the Yankees and the Rays. Still the 2 best records in the American League. Jackson Holliday softly over to second, circled by Cody Clemens. Can you believe if the season ended right now, the Chicago White Sox would have a first-round bye?
Yeah, I mean, look, they played obviously great baseball. What a turnaround season it's been for them too. Can they stay there though? That's the question.
What do you think? They're 2.5 up on Detroit, 3.5 on the Twins, 4 on.
I mean, they beefed up the trade deadline, so I mean, they should be better than what they have been.
The Tigers thing is crazy. Trading Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize, and they've won 3 in a row, and they're 8-2 in their last 10, and they're a half game out of the wild card, and they're 2.5 behind the White Sox. And they still have good pitching, Detroit, even without those two. They've got Troy Melton, who's been awesome. They've got Kader Montero. Jackson Jobe has just returned. Framber Valdez.
And they know all about runs. They had an incredible run a couple years ago, and then they got turned. The Tides got turned on them last year.
And they have Kevin McGonigal, who can't be stopped, plus a 21-year-old Max Clark, who came up right after the Orioles were in Detroit. He's off to a great start. 0-2 for Tyler O'Neill. That's high. Tigers, Twins, and Orioles in that order behind Texas for the wild card. Houston leads the West at 61-60, which is why the White Sox would have the bye. Top 2 division winners get byes. The Yankees by far have been the second best team in the American League pretty much the whole year, behind Tampa Bay, but that's only good for the top wild card. The third best record in the AL, the Boston Red Sox, but they would be the second wild card as it stands. They've lost 4 straight. So the top 3 teams in the league, all in the East. O'Neill pops one up to right. Roden will keep this one playable, though across the line foul. It's a 1-2-3 fifth for Matthews, and with a game-winning 3-run homer in the 8th. Line to right field for Victor Caratini off the very top of the wall. A staggering Leody Taveras does very well to grab that ball, and he holds Caratini to a very high, very long single.
Taveras played that perfectly. And boy, was that ball ever touched by Caratini. 2 for 3 day for him, including an RBI, and boy, he wasted no time. Got a heater pretty much right down the middle. That's been the story for the Orioles pitching today. Too many balls left right in the heart of the plate. Ball kicks right to Taveras. He quickly gets it in.
How often do you hit a ball 105 degrees and hit it nearly 350 feet and have to stop at first? So a break for Cam Sanders, that very high wall in right field.
Twins with already 12 base hits, man.
Alan Roden's got 2 of them, and he takes strike 1. Swing and miss 2-2. That wall height in right center here, one of the highest walls in baseball, 23 feet, which matches the height of the old wall, the baggy wall at the Metrodome. That's inside the bag, and Alan Roden is 3 for 3, and he's going to have a double for the second straight at bat. These Twins are hitting everything.
Telling you what, the approach is so good, and it's really been pretty good in this series. You mentioned they didn't expand the zone very much in game 1, but I'm impressed where they hit the ball and the approach. A lot of balls up the middle, a lot of balls at the backside of the field.
Roden, a 191 career hitter, had just 3 hits since July 26th. His last 12 games with an at-bat.
Well, he came in hitting just 7 for 45 off right-handed pitching, and he's 3 for 3 today.
And it's his first career 3-hit game.
All off right-handed pitchers.
Now he is a guy who's always hit in the minors.
Orioles will push the infield in. Now, typically with a runner on third and nobody out, the contact play is normally not on.
Way upstairs to Ryan Kreidler. After the words of wisdom from Drew French, Cam Sanders, who threw 2 innings on Monday, just 2 days ago, is trying to get through this jam in the 5th. Twins have been awesome in these spots all year and awesome today. Breaking ball. Will it be challenged? No.
Most.
I can't even tell you. I don't think that was a strike.
That's an eyelash that one missed.
I think that was the right call by Narvaez. 2-0 for Kreidler. Line out to right, struck out swinging. There's a beautiful two-seamer. You can tell how good catchers are because it's like Narvaez knew how close it was. You could just see it in the hesitation. He probably would have wasted a challenge had he gone with it. 2-1. Kreidler ground ball to third. Encarnacion Strand's got it, and he has the first out as the runners hold. Contact play was not on. Caratini stays at third, Roden at second, and here's Craig Albernez.
A rocket to the backhand side of CES right here. Runner had no intention of going home. He pushes the runner back and collects the out over at first base. That'll be the end of the day for Cam Sanders.
And Albie will go get Yarmil Geraldo. Pitched very well Sunday at Texas. He'll have to pitch very well today. Eliminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Yarmil Geraldo replaces Cam Sanders and throws a great first pitch. A splitter to Trevor Larnach. Second and third, 1 out.
Yarmil Geraldo making his 7th appearance of the year. 6 innings of work. Walks get in the way every now and then. 6 walks and 6 innings pitched, but he's got a big arm. 10 strikeouts. Fastball going to average 96. Slider and a split finger fastball, and he's inherited a pretty good jam right here, but off to a good start.
Geraldo on 2 days rest. Sunday he threw 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 3 in Texas, and he picked up his first major league win. Caratini's at third, Roden's at second. A single, a double, and a ground out against Cam Sanders. It gives up 4 hits, gets a strikeout in an inning and a third. Now the 0-2 for Larnach. Missed with a splitter. Larnach 1 for 8 in the series. Awesome with runners in scoring position this year, hitting .375 into the game. Infield's in on 1 and 2. Larnach ground ball to first. Pete thinks about coming home, but decides to take the out at first instead. Caratini scores. Roden moves to third at 6-4.
Petey thought about it. Ball just wasn't hit real firm, and a really good jump over at third base. Probably a good decision by Pete Alonso. But the Twins tack on 1 more.
Larnach with an RBI. And Royce Lewis with a pop-up. That will reach the seats. So a run scoring ground out for Minnesota. And Larnach becomes the 6th different Twin with an RBI. 6 of the 9 starters, and now 7. Royce Lewis, who already has a double to left field, will add another. Everybody but Lee and Kreidler. 7 of the 9 Twin starters have an RBI here in the 5th.
And they are wearing it out today with runners in scoring position. Now 7 for 14 for the Twins.
What a series for Royce Lewis. 6 out of 12. 2 doubles, 2 ribbies, a walk. And now Josh Bell, who couldn't hold up Final line for Sanders, an inning and a third, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a strikeout. This is really amazing. 14 hits for the Twins. They've made 14 outs. If there's any bright spot at all, you're happy they've only scored 7. Well, with 3 singles, 5 hits in the series, plus a walk. Zebby Matthews' day may be done, by the way. Andrew Morris, one of the Twins' setup men, has been warming up for a little while. Obviously, the Twins haven't used their leverage relievers the first 2 games of the series.
About those numbers since August the 1st.
Strike 3. Finally, Geraldo gets rid of Bell. 2 more Twins runs score. They lead by 3 through 5. Home of the great Robert Zimmerman, aka Bob Dylan. Andrew Morris has come into the game and he gets a strike.
Andrew Morris making his 46th appearance of the year. 55 in the 30s worked, 52 strikeouts. Pretty good number. Opponent's hitting .240 off the right-hander. Morris. Big arm, too. Fastball's going to average 97. 2 in the 4-seam fastball. That changeup you just saw.
Zebby Matthews with an O'Barian start. Same as Bailey Ober yesterday. Gave up a bunch of runs early and then scoreless the last couple of innings. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned. Walked 2, struck out 4. And Matthews out of the game after 94 pitches, 60 strikes, in line to win it despite a tough outing. Victor Caratini puts his glove back on after that foul ball.
Knocked his glove right off his hand.
Thankfully not the most painful catcher getting a glove knocked off their hand in the series. 4th rounder from Texas Tech 4 years ago. Morris, this is his true rookie year. Oddly enough, he very rarely gets batters to chase his pitches out of the zone, but he does not allow a lot of hard hits and keeps the ball on the ground. 2-2 for Beavers. 98 fouled away. Not just that big 6-pitch mix bend, but 5 pitches he throws all at least 11%. So very tough to pick up what this guy's going to throw.
Yeah, very rare reliever have that many pitches.
2-2. Beavers couldn't hold up. Strike 3 on a cutter. And Twins pitching's retired 6 in a row.
That's the out pitch, Dylan Beavers. That's where that 3-run homer was meant to be, kind of down and in, but instead it was left out over the plate. He hit it for a 3-run homer, but not that one.
Christian Encarnacion Strand. Morris was not with the Twins when they came to Baltimore to start the year, and yet he's now thrown 13 more innings than anybody else that pitches primarily in the bullpen. Taylor Rogers has thrown more games, but often just for a batter or 2. Morris will give you multiple innings, and he may be asked to do that today. Or maybe it's A.J. Minter, Jeff Hoffman, and the closer Yoendrys Gomez that would be the roadmap for Derek Shelton to the finish line. That's a combination that goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Bucket hat and a Hawaiian shirt.
Yep. Only thing you need is one of them little fruity drinks with the umbrella on it. That would complete the cycle.
As long as it's an orange umbrella.
That's right.
2-2 for CES. Bites off 100.
Telling you, it's a big arm.
It's got to be a tough arm to pick up too. It's a 60-degree over the top arm angle, one of the highest in baseball. Broken bat flare will land foul. That's only the 8th changeup he's thrown to a righty all year. So you're thinking, will it be four-seamer, cutter, sweeper, or sinker? He throws those all out to righties, and then he breaks your bat with a changeup. It's like these guys grow on trees now in baseball. You can find Andrew Morris anywhere. One of the worst bullpen ERAs in baseball for the Twins. And he's been their guy. Pitch number 7. Fading changeup. Back-to-back changeups to the righty. Christian's flight out to left, lined out to first, ready for a 3-2. Breaks his bat again. This time 99 to 8 pitches, and the result goes the way of Morris. So Leody Taveras will bat as the Orioles look to avoid sending up the minimum for a 3rd straight inning. Since Dylan Bieber's 3-run homer, the Orioles were 0 for 9 with a walk and a ground ball double play. They started the game with 6 hits in their first 14 batters and a walk, reaching base half the time. Two.
Goodness.
The players who's used the portal to their advantage more started at Colorado Mesa in Division II. Made it up to Texas Tech, was their Friday night starter, which means usually you're the ace. Start the weekend. He's had a great rookie year in the big leagues. And he strikes out Taveras at triple digits. He's just throwing smoke. And a Twins fan has just proposed to Leah, who said yes. Now Leah was wearing a Twins jersey and an Orioles hat. So that's interesting. I wonder how she'll feel about having both teams represented in her proposal for all time. Maybe she's originally from Baltimore and has moved to Minneapolis. There's Leah. Congratulations to the happy couple.
Yeah.
Leah is a winner no matter what.
Well, Kevin, maybe she just can't make up her mind.
But she did say yes, I think.
For now.
It is. It is.
That's true. Check back in a minute. Is that what you're saying? Thanks.
Rob, it is a rubber game. She's trying to figure out who to pull for.
Exactly. That's gutsy. What if she says no in front of everybody?
Yeah, you better know, Rob.
You better know.
You gotta know.
Like hopefully they talked about it beforehand and said, you know, we know we're gonna get married and do this at some point. They're looking at the ring. It's a wonderful moment. with an Orioles hat and a Twins jersey on. It's a dangerous thing to surprise if the person's not ready. I mean,
you could get your feelings hurt pretty quick.
You got to know if they want a ballpark proposal or not. Outside to Brooks Lee, 1-1. You wouldn't have ever proposed to Nikki.
No, I'd be scared she said no.
Just because of where he did it. Lee, ground ball to first, gobbled up by Pete. Good play by Alonso on the forehand side, and Brooks Lee 2 for 4. As Geraldo tries to settle this game down, the Twins have a hit in every inning.
Hoffman's starting to get heat up in that Twins bullpen. Geraldo trying to get the Twins in order for the first time today.
Like the Twins have multiple hits for the 5 innings. And there to Luke Keyshaw. Orioles do have an off day tomorrow, which they need because you mentioned the starters of late have not given them lane. 3 innings Sunday for Cade Povich, 4 for Trevor Rogers yesterday, 6 from Brandon, or that was Monday, 6 yesterday for Brandon Young, and then 3 for Shane Baz today. That's only 16 innings. 4 innings per start over the last 4 outings.
Yeah, and the starters have been getting a lot of length until recently.
And obviously the 2 before that, Baz a complete game 8 and Brad is 6 at Texas, so the road trip started out much better. The Orioles have also been carrying 9 relievers this series. They optioned Cade Povich to Norfolk. We're all expecting Chris Bassett will rejoin the team down at Tampa Bay. That's not been confirmed, but he's with the team. He's thrown his rehab starts. He seems good to go. Swing and a miss. Geraldo gets Keyshaw. Very nice 6th inning for Geraldo. The first 1-2-3 inning for the Orioles today. The 7th we go, and Jeff Hoffman comes on for Minnesota, recently acquired from the Blue Jays.
Hoffman making his 55th appearance of the year. 51 innings of work, 80 strikeouts. That's a big number. 20 walks to go along with 80 strikeouts, so a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Opponent's hitting .250 off the big right-hander. Hoffman. Andrew Morris was really good. 1 perfect inning with 2 strikeouts.
Morris threw 18 pitches, 12 strikes, and now Hoffman will face Franklin, Narvaez, and Henderson. Hoffman got off to a dreadful start to the year, fell out of the closer role in Toronto, was really getting hit hard, but his last 24 games, that's a 1.14 ERA. And the Orioles are hoping they see the Jeff Hoffman they saw at the end of May when they rallied against him in the 9th inning against Toronto. Gone cold after the Dylan Beavers 3-run home run. Remember the game Saturday, May 30th. The Orioles trailed Toronto 5-1 into the bottom of the 9th. Hoffman struck out Samuel Basayo, then hit Kobe Mayo, then allowed 3 straight hits, 2 straight walks, would give up 5 runs as the Orioles scored 5 and won it. He's off to a strong start here as he gets Franklin swinging at his slider.
9 consecutive Orioles now have gone down. Got off to a good start. 1 in the first, 3 in the third for the Orioles on Dylan Beavers' 3-run home run, but not a lot of noise since then.
Franklin retired for the first time today, base hit and a walk. And now Narvaez, who has a single and a double play ground out. Strike 1 to Narvaez. Hoffman was set to be a Minnesota Twin potentially in 2023. Was with the Twins in spring training that year. Signed a minor league deal. Was not going to make the opening day roster, so he triggered the opt-out clause, became a free agent, and then signed with the Phillies 3 days later. And then had the big breakout year where he became an all-star the next year in 2024. We all know about last year. Hoffman reportedly signed a 3-year deal with the Orioles. Also reportedly signed a 3-year deal with the Braves. Both teams backed away because of physical issues reportedly. So goes to the Blue Jays and then gives up the game-tying home run with 2 outs left in the World Series to Miguel Rojas. It's a fly out for Narvaez here. So it is not a great Blue Jays tenure for Jeff Hoffman, who did not have a good regular season last year. 7 blown saves. Obviously will go down as one of the most notable blown saves in Major League history. The Twins think he can help, and he has pitched very well of late. Well, not in the 9th inning, but helping the Twins get there. Still one of the most shocking, one of the most stunning, one of the most jaw-dropping moments in World Series history, that Miguel Rojas home run. Only players in World Series history game-winning or game-tying home runs in the 9th inning of a Game 7. Bill Mazeroski, 1960, to win it over the Yankees for Pittsburgh, and Miguel Rojas off of Jeff Hoffman last year. There's a strike to Gunnar, 3-1. Henderson has walked, grounded out, flied out.
Hoffman typically throws a lot of sliders, about 43% of the time.
Now it's 44% of the time.
Just went up. A real good one, too, on a 3-1 count. Pete Alonso hoping to get a shot here in the top of the 7th.
Another slider. Gunnar 1 for 3. He's doubled and walked against Jeff Hoffman in his career. Splitter, splitter, heater, heater, slider, slider. Feels like it's all on the table on 3-2. And it's a splitter high. Henderson's 2nd walk today. That's the Orioles' first base runner since the 4th. So Pete will get a shot here.
Yes. Petey has had himself a wonderful series, too.
Now, Pete saw a lot of Jeff Hoffman back in the Phillies-Mets days. Only 3 hits, but 2 home runs career off of Jeff Hoffman. Two singles and a ground out for Alonso.
Home plate umpire called that? Yes, he did.
Now, one of the homers for Pete off of Jeff Hoffman was just 2 months ago. Got him this June 6th up in Toronto on an 0-2 fastball, which he drove the other way. He also homered off him way back in 2019 when Hoffman was a Colorado Rocky. He took a curveball 448 feet out to left against him in that game, one of his longest career home runs. That was a much different Jeff Hoffman. That was a guy who was starting games and throwing hanging curveballs for Colorado.
Well, nothing but sliders so far. Been just peppering the outside part of the plate is Hoffman.
The only Oriole to have homered off Hoffman before. He homered off him on 0-2. What'll it be? 1-2. chases a slider. Stays alive.
Boy, he went out there. Petey dove out there to get that one too.
Your pitcher, you think fastball in after that?
You could. If you can get it in there, it would probably work. Looks like set up and on the outside part. Jackson Holiday hoping to get an opportunity. So a lot of sliders away, a fastball away, and normally fastball away. If he likes that slider, here it comes.
Henderson at first, a 3-run Twins lead in the 7th. Fastball away again. It's 3-2.
If you're Pete Alonso here, everything has been away. You might as well look out over the plate. If he throws a fastball in, you just tip your cap.
3-2 count will give Gunnar a head start. He runs. And Pete takes a high slider up and in. Hoffman has walked back-to-back birds.
All right.
Jackson Holiday represents the tying run.
Tying run coming to the plate.
And a visit from Pete Mackey will precede the all-alliterative matchup. Jackson Holiday versus Jeff Hoffman. Two 2-out walks, both 7-pitch walks. And Jackson Holiday saw Jeff Hoffman twice earlier this year, pretty shortly after he came off the injury list. May 28th against Hoffman. Holiday lined a single to right. 2 days later, in that big comeback win where they got 5 off Hoffman in the 9th, Holiday lined another single to right.
There's A.J. Minter, the left-hander, getting heated up.
The base hits, by the way, were off a slider and a splitter. 2 on, 2 out. Tying run, the young Holiday. In the dirt by Hoffman. He spiked it over to the on-deck circle by the Twins dugout.
Looked like a splitter, too, well out in front of home plate.
So Henderson and Alonso get an extra base on the Hoffman wild pitch.
Right now, just a base hit. Bring the Orioles most probably within 1.
Hoffman's 4th wild pitch of the year. Holiday with an RBI fielder's choice back in the 1st. Jackson to the right side, caught by Clemens. He almost had another hit to right off of Hoffman. Oh, so close to a 1-run game.
Claim
that there's a woman to blame, but I know.
Bum, 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 bum.
Alex Hoppy is into the game in the bottom of the 7th. And the Orioles, despite putting a couple of runners in scoring position, can't score the 7th. They still trail 7-4.
Hoppy making his 27th appearance between Seattle and Baltimore. His 2 appearances with the Baltimore have been scoreless. On the year, though, 29 2/3, 34 strikeouts, and a big arm, too. Fastball is going to be 98, 99. 2 and a 4-seamer.
Ground ball to short from Victor Caratini. Gunnar Henderson's there for the outs. Yaramil Geraldo's final line, an inning in 2/3, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. So pitched pretty well. He did give up a couple of inherited runs in a tough spot in the 5th.
His last 2 appearances have been pretty solid for Geraldo.
And 17 of his 21 pitches were strikes, too. Love to see that. Alan Roden having the best game of his career. First 3-hit game in the big leagues. Twins have banged out 14 hits, only 1 walk, only, let's see, 3 of the 14 or 4 of the 14 hits extra bases, 4 doubles. So no homers, 1 walk. but a whole lot of singles, 4 doubles, some productive outs in there, and they lead 7-4.
And just crushing it, runners in scoring position, like they pretty much have all year.
Seven for 15 today. Into the game, second best average with runners in scoring position in baseball. Second on base, 4th slugging. And they'll probably jump back into first after this performance. Inside to Roden, it's 3-1. Hoppy trying to keep this a 3-run game. Winner takes the series. Twins would even the season series at 3 with a win. Orioles with a comeback would take the season series 4-2. That's high for ball 4. There's the second Minnesota walk, and Roden's career day continues. He's been on base all 4 times. Ryan Kreidler is 0 for 3. That hit a bunch of things. It seemed like
got everybody.
First. And then did it get Narvaez and Tyler Jones?
We're about to find out. It did.
Yeah, I got the helmet at Carlos.
That's a double helmet ricochet.
It's a double whammy. Hopefully everybody's okay. So bat, helmet, helmet. Oh, and then Kreidler's trying to hurt his own teammates now. So the opposing catcher and umpire weren't enough, apparently. Ryan Kreidler, a serial fouler. Kalen Culpepper, the rookie, getting a day off of shortstop. Kreidler making his 34th start there, is 0 for 3.
Yeah, pretty rare to see a guy go from center field to shortstop. Kreidler played center field in game 2, shortstop today.
The Twins are not a good defensive team, but they do at least have versatility. And maybe part of the reason they're not good is they have players who don't just work in one spot. Cody Clemens can play center and right, second. Royce Lewis first, second, third. Luke Keyshaw second, right, center. Strike 3, 99 up top.
I like this arm. Just my best against yours. Just challenging with that 4-seam fastball, top shelf at 99. Good luck catching up to that.
Two outs for Hoppy. Trying to show well in his third Oriole game. He was happy about one particular aspect of the trade. He is from the North Carolina area. He and his wife live in the Charlotte area. His parents are around there, so he gets to be much closer to home. He said if you're from there, you can't be any farther away than in Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
So he gets to be back on the East Coast. Larnach slicing one to deep center. Franklin will retrieve it, and it's a scoreless 7th for Alex Hoppy. Orioles have 6 outs left. They'll try to rally in the 8th. A new pitcher, A.J. Minter, is in. This is not the spot of the lineup you want a lefty to face if you're the Twins. Tyler O'Neill's going to lead it off and take a strike.
A.J. Minter traded over from the Mets, making his 29th appearance. He's been good, though. 2.33 ERA. Loves the cutter. That's his most used pitch. There it is right there.
And Minter had to grab that and did. That probably would have been an infield hit otherwise for Tyler O'Neill. Twins have retired the leadoff man now in the last 4 innings after 3 of the first 4 had reached for the Orioles, and O'Neill is 1 for 4.
Minter will use that cutter a lot, and I'm talking about 56% of the time. Good bit of athleticism right there.
Well, Jeff Hoffman had a bit of a rickety 7th, but he got through it, walking 2, striking out 1. And Minter had to face 4, 5, 6. O'Neill, Kobe Mayo, who's going to pinch hit for Dylan Beavers, and then Christian Encarnacion Strand. All three of these guys have just crushed lefties this year, but Minter got the first one. And he's got a strike on Kobe. Beavers had a 3-run homer. He also struck out twice, so his day over. 1 for 3. That 3-run homer gave the O's a 4-1 lead in the third. Twins have scored 6 straight since. 4 in the third, 2 in the fifth. And here's why Kobe comes off the bench. With Atlanta for 8 years. The Mets last year. They traded from the Mets to the Twins right before the deadline, July 31st. And he's off to a good start against some guys who mash lefties. Minter has 2 strikeouts.
Good changeup, really good cutter. Fastball velocity about 93. Boy, he can mix and very rarely leaves the ball in the middle part of the plate.
So Encarnacion Strand trying to get on for the first time.
Ooh, wow. Called a cutter, but that thing moved like a sweeper, didn't it? That's a lot of movement for a cutter.
That was a cutter plus.
That was an amped up cutter. A lot of horizontal in that thing.
Yoendrys Gomez is the Twins closer. He would have the 9th inning if all goes according to plan. Ground ball foul. Back-to-back days, the Orioles scored early and often. Yesterday they got 5 in the first 3 innings. Never scored the rest of the game, but they only allowed 2. Today they got 4 in the first 3 innings. Haven't scored the rest of the game, but they've allowed 7. There's a big chase by Encarnacion Strand. Minter does not throw a ball. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 outs. All right.
Well, the Orioles return to their 4th reliever of the day. Big Al, Albert Suarez, making his 22nd appearance. ERA shade over 4, 49 innings of work, 33 strikeouts, 19 walks. Opponents hitting .247 of Albert Suarez.
Alex Hoppe, a walk and a strikeout in a scoreless 7th. Jeremiah Jackson has come on to play left field here after Kobe Mayo bat for Dylan Beavers. That keeps Colton Cowser available in case the Orioles want him as a pinch hitter in the 9th. 9th inning, it'll be the bottom 3, Taveras, Franklin, and Narvaez against Yoendrys Gomez, the Twins closer, unless the Twins get some more runs. And Royce Lewis comes a little short of doing that. On a day where he's doubled twice, he flies out and is 2 for 5. So the Oriole bullpen today, 4 1/3, 2 runs. Those runs both charged to Cam Sanders. Inherited runs scored against Yarmil Geraldo, who came in 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the 5th. Got an RBI ground out, RBI double against him. Really a tough outing for Shane Baz, his shortest outing since last September. 3 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned. Only walked 1, but only struck out 2. Josh Bell pops one up. Anderson with a call and the ball. Shane Baz was coming off his first career complete game. First time he's thrown a big league complete game. It was 8 innings and a loss. Only 93 pitches though. So if you're wondering, would fatigue be a factor one start later? It wasn't one of his bigger pitch counts of the year.
And in the start before that, he had 99 pitches, so pretty much in line with what he's done all year long.
Clemens.
Good changeup, too.
Assuming it's the end for A.J. Minter. What a dominant inning. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, a perfect 8th with 2 Ks.
Yeah, because he just went through a couple of really good right-handed hitters that the Orioles have against left-handed pitching.
Clemens sends a high fly ball into right center. Leody Taveras will lead off the 9th inning, and he makes the catch to end the 8th. Taveras, Franklin, Narvaez trying to get Henderson and Alonso to the batter's box in the 9th. A big rally in the 9th against a surprisingly sharp closer. Yoendrys Gomez, who came over from the Rays early in the season, is 16 for 16 in saves.
Yeah, tough guy to get base hits off of, too. Opponent's batting average .219. Gomez making his 50th appearance of the year. He's been busy. 52 1/3 and 50 strikeouts. So not a huge strikeout guy. 27 walks. Trying to pick up his 17th save of the season.
3 months ago, traded from the Rays to the Twins for cash considerations. And Leody Taveras considers his first pitch to be what he's going to cash in on.
Wow.
That ball blasted to deep right. And a home run by Taveras puts a shock into the Twin system on the first pitch of the night. It's 7-5.
You talk about fastball hunting right there. 7th long ball of the year, the 43rd RBI for Taveras. And the Orioles draw within 2.
Taveras with 2 hits in the series, a triple in the 8th on Monday, a homer in the 9th today. And that brings the tying run to the on-deck circle. 2 home runs into the right field seats for the Orioles today. Up over the basket.
That's Taveras' 3rd home run in the last 5 series. And watch this swing, boy. I'm talking about right on the inside part. That's what you call guessing heater and going to get one right there. And he knew it. He had that one. Just puts his head down and starts jogging.
1-1 now for Christian Franklin.
Got to get one more on. Got to give yourself a chance.
Two and one to Franklin, who singled and walked today.
That's big, because that will at least bring Gunnar Henderson to the plate, and maybe if somebody else gets on, Pete Alonso.
This is an inning where you're hoping the expected numbers catch up with Gomez, whose actual ERA of 3.27 is a lot better than his expected ERA of 5.05. He's a below average strikeout pitcher. He walks a lot and he gives up a ton of fly balls, but he's 16 for 16 and saves somehow.
And Cowser's on the on deck circle, so he'll get an at bat.
Franklin wise to the sweeper. He's worked it full.
Well, this would be big if he could find his way on base. There's Colton.
Christian Franklin's about to see his 23rd pitch in 4 plate appearances. He's been to 2-2 or more every time. A payoff pitch. Franklin is nearly drilled. He walks after the home run. That will bring Colton Cowser to the plate as the tying run with nary an out to be found.
When you get down, all you can hope for is an opportunity. And the Orioles have that opportunity here at the top of the 9th. Leadoff homer by Taveras to bring them within 2. And now the tying run and Colton Cowser stepping to the plate.
Victor Caratini to the mound to talk to Gomez. It's a pitcher who was designated for assignment by the Rays after 9 games and a 6.23 ERA. Which goes to show you the fickle nature of pitching. He's got a 180 with Minnesota after a 6.23 with Tampa Bay. But he had only allowed 1 home run in 35 innings and 146 batters faced with the Twins before that Taveras swing.
And he likes his 4-seam fastball. About 45% of the time. That's a good thing for Colton Cowser. I don't know how many he's going to get.
Well, let's find out. Gomez does not throw a lot of changeups. It's his least thrown pitch. Throws it 10% of the time to lefties. One 1-0 to Cowser off the bench in the ninth. Taking ball 2.
All right, this is when Colton's got to be patiently aggressive here. Hunt you a fastball, but something you can barrel up.
He has only thrown fastballs in 2-0 counts this year, Yoendrys Gomez. And Cowser gets a fastball, and it's caught by Gomez for a double play.
I mean, how did Gomez even catch this ball? Because it looked like it was a rocket off the bat. I don't know if he caught it or it caught him, but either way, it is a line drive double play and a dagger for the Orioles. I mean, watch this. I mean, it just, anywhere else it gets through. But watch where his glove ends up on the follow through, and that's exactly where the ball went. He just had to move just a little bit with that glove, but still a really good play.
And he gets another ball right back to him. What a crazy ending to this game. 2 absolute out of balls, 3 outs, game over, series over. Twins win 7-5 and take 2 of 3 in the series.
Orioles got out early, man. They scored 4 runs early, but couldn't scratch a run after that. And give the Twins a lot of credit. We talked about this offense they have. One of the top 10 offenses in baseball. They were really good today. Runners in scoring position, 7 for 15. Kind of the difference in the ball game here.
Twins tie the season series, and they deal a big blow to the Orioles in the wild card race. The O's are now a game and a half behind Minnesota, 2.5 behind Texas, who will play later tonight. Tough way.